And here we are. It's the end of the third period. The Leafs are doing everything they can and throwing everything they got at Martin Brodeur'd. Even players from other teams. Oh, there goes Ryan Smith. Ed Belfour making a comeback. They're throwing everything they can at Martin Brodeur'd. Chris Chelios with a backboard. Dazzlin almost gets it. And nobody can... You do know I'm better than him, right? I am. Luongo. I don't even know what I was doing with that, but honestly, it was a pretty good metaphor. Leafs threw everything they could at Martin Brodeur'd at the end of the game, and he's like, no, because I'm Martin Brodeur'd, and I gotta stop everything, and I start 70 billion games a season. Sigh. You know what, though? Honestly, I'm not all that upset. I don't know about you. I really do like the Leafs to win. But, they had a 3-game win streak, which is a lot more than anybody expected out of them. And they did okay. Tried to mount a comeback, did pretty good. They just had a couple unlucky bounces. It's a shame. Hal Gill, who hasn't kicked the puck into their own net at some point? I can't really think of anybody right now, but it happens all the time. But straight up, the Leafs got Brodeur'd. Thank you, by the way, to subscriber Carmi for giving me that word that I have officially stolen. At least got Brodeur'd. 3-2. At least Tucker scored, though, eh? Yeah, I said eh. It's always good seeing him score. Just as sixth. That's awful. Can you imagine? Let's just imagine a scenario right now. Can you imagine Antropov was producing the way he has this year, and Tucker produced the way he did last year, and so did Blake? Leafs would be in the playoffs, no problem. Blake would already have 25 goals-ish. Tucker would have 20. It's a shame. But there's a lot of rumbling going on with the Leafs, and you got to wonder what's going on. They called up Daryl Boyce. Why? Didn't even play. That confused me. But I will talk about something, also another rumble going on in Leafland and around the NHL. I've been asked this a couple times by users, and here it is. Damn. Can you read that through my hand? Brunstrom. I think that's how you pronounce it. Fabian Brunstrom. For those of you who don't know who the hell he is, he's a 22-year-old Swedish prospect currently playing in Sweden. I believe on Färjestad. I believe. And he's doing incredibly, and he's said to be the best player outside of the NHL, which I think is pretty impressive considering the last player to hold that title was Evgeny Malkin. So, but yeah, apparently a lot of teams are courting him. And the Leafs are one of them. The Leafs are a front runner, I believe, with Vancouver and Detroit. Now, Detroit doesn't need him because they're already incredible, and Vancouver doesn't need him because they pretty much have Team Sweden already. The Sedin twins, so that's two, Naslund, Oland. Can you imagine if they got Sundin, at the end of the year for a trade, or Brunstrom? That'd be incredible. And the best goalie in the world, Roberto Luongo. I'll try to remember a story about him later. But yeah, the numbers are incredible. His points dwarf anything Sundin ever got in Sweden. Of course, that was a long time ago. And he's 6'1", about 200 pounds, in and around that, which, is pretty good. That's a decent size. He's been deemed the next Alfredsson by some. Don't care for Alfredsson, but he's a pretty good player, so that wouldn't be bad. I think it's stupid to sign him now. It'd be good to get rights to him for next year, but I think for someone to call him over to the NHL at this point in the season is stupid, because just let him start anew next season. I guess that's all for that. So I'll talk about the Luongo story. As you guys know, if you've watched the rest of my videos, I was at the NHL Awards last year, and I can honestly say, because Luongo was sitting in the section down from mine, when he was walking up after the show was done, he looked pissed, and he was really pissed. I don't think he really wanted the MVP, but the Vezina. And Brodeur'd had one more win. It was an NHL record, but Luongo, I think, had to work a little harder for it, and he deserved it, and that's why he looked so pissed. Speaking of the NHL awards, the Bill Masterton Trophy is awarded every year. The anniversary just passed of Bill Masterson's death this week. He's the only NHLer to die as a result of direct result of injuries sustained from hockey. And the Bill Masterton Award is awarded to the player who best shows perseverance and sportsmanship and all that. Last year it went to Phil Kessel. Funny story about that, even though it's not a very funny subject. I sat in Phil Kessel's seat for part of rehearsal for the NHL Awards, and I'm sitting there, in my little seat, and I go, because the arm on his chair is broken. Phil, if you're watching, I tried telling people, and they didn't fix it. So, I think Phil deserves a little more than that, don't ya? Nothing else to talk about, other than I want your comments, and I want your whatnots, grievances, hate mail. What do you think's going to happen to the Leafs? They're in a terrible conference. It's possible. Even if they do make 8th, do you want them to? Let me know.